Yeah, shocking new revelations tonight about Project Homekey. That's California's federally funded homeless relief program. An investigation finds that after LA County spent more than $500 million on apartments and hotels for the homeless, more than 70% of those rooms remain vacant. Meantime, more than 50,000 unsheltered homeless people are living in LA County right now. Joining me now is reporter Jaime Page, whose team has the exclusive reporting in the Westside Current. Incredible exclusive reporting, I might add. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
This is shocking. More than $500 million spent, 70% remain vacant tonight. How did you uncover this?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that those 50,000 are people that have names, right? And we talked to a few of them on the streets during this investigation. And then that money we're talking about is taxpayer money. So we started it by asking ourselves, my partner Chris LeGras, who worked on this with me, was curious about Project Roomkey at the time and now Homekey, wondering what are the successes of it. We're still seeing thousands of people languish on our streets and sidewalks. So what about this program that is supposed to be so successful? He started driving around in the city and just exploring, and he called me and he said, you wouldn't believe this. There are still like these empty buildings that nobody is in. So we started with our first story that we did on the city. We uncovered 1,200 rooms that were empty. And then we said, let's do the county. A little more undertaking. It took us about 40 hours each time to go to every single location. And we went during the week, in daytime hours, to see what kind of construction was taking place, to see who was habitating it, if anybody was, and what was going on, what the story was. We did that twice just to make sure that we were fully reporting out the story, and as you see here, 70% are empty, and the photos that you've been showing are just, there are no construction workers. There's nobody around. These are daytime photos that we're taking.
And I was taken aback by, you mentioned off the top that you've talked to many of these people who are homeless, and they're there, and they came from different states because they heard about California and about the assistance here.
I talked to one gentleman who was there because he had heard about this particular place, and so he came here. He was disabled, doesn't have access to get anywhere else, so he's just been waiting outside for this location to open, he said.
And it could be months, it could be years before a lot of these even begin to see the light of day. Who's in charge of managing all of these? Because there's, when you talk about that you went to these locations twice just to do your due diligence, 32 locations across LA County. Who is in charge of managing these sites?
It's a really good question. I think the county and the state are still trying to figure some of that out as well. In our investigation, we found in some cases, some of these locations were actually signed over to the nonprofit providers, so they're responsible in, I believe, 10 of these housing locations. The county is responsible for the others, but you know this, you're a reporter here. You get the, this person, ask this person, ask this person. The state didn't have the full list when I asked them multiple times, so I had to give them the list I was working off of, and then I kept finding
the actual Homekey sites. The state didn't have the list.
They didn't have the full documented list, and then we kept finding more, and then looking it up and researching this address, and then giving them more and asking for answers.
The other thing that struck me was the fact that, you know, a lot of these, we've seen the groundbreaking with officials out there and say, hey, this is going to be up and running by the fall. And then they were hit with inflation too, construction companies, and they just don't have the funds to do it.
They don't. And that's probably one of the biggest problems that they're facing right now is a lot of these companies, sometimes first time, by the way, doing a project like this, they won the bid. Remember Homekey, one of, I think, its biggest deficits is because it was expedited. We had a lot of money that we had to spend really quickly.
During the pandemic.
Yes. We had to spend quickly. So a lot of these construction companies didn't really know what they were doing. And when you have to follow the rules of the city and the county, they're a lot different than private rules. So the ADA requirements, they have to like strip down fully like new places and renovate them.
Is this problem, did you find, limited to LA County?
No, and as a matter of fact, we did a report. There's counties all over, adjacent to us, Ventura County, San Bernardino County, San Luis Obispo.
Similar numbers, you think? in other words, 70% of those projects remain?
Well, none of those are online, and that's a different issue. Actually, the developer spent the money on luxury goods, so our state attorney general has actually just filed a lawsuit this year against them.
Well, we know it's a complex issue. We know that there's a lack of oversight. You've highlighted that in your reporting. Jaime Page with Westside Current, thank you so much. For more information, please read the story at westsidecurrent.com. We also have a link to it on our website. It is foxla.com. Again, Jaime, thank you so much, and keep up the really great work.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, over to you. Excellent.